Hello and welcome to QuestLore, a family Lorcana podcast where we know things and we talk to you about all things Lorcana.
I mean, we know some things.
We know some things, and that is still a thing. I'm Matt.
I'm Malcolm. I'm Babette.
And I'm Jen.
And welcome to this week's episode. We are 1 week out from the release of Set 7, Archazia's Island.
Archazia's Island!
Super exciting. But who cares about that? Because more importantly, we've got news about Set 8.
We got news about Set 8! Jafar!
That's right. We're going to talk about Jafar, but then we're going to circle back to Archazia because even though it's dead to us, because we only care about Jafar now.
Okay, come on. Wait, imagine if the Jafar set they released about the Huey, Dewey, and Louie stacked on top of each other thing.
It's definitely not going to be Huey, Dewey, and Louie dressed up as Archazia.
Imagine if the Bucky's basically the same exact
Alright, can we get to the news?
Okay.
I'm excited.
Anyways. First, before we hop into news,
Sure.
We always start about our
right.
week playing.
Weekly play.
We actually all got to go to League.
Yes,
this
it's
week
been a
on
while.
Sunday.
It's been like 3 weeks since we've all gone together.
Yeah, we've missed a lot this season, all of us.
Yeah.
Even myself. So let's start. Emmett, how was your weekly play? Did you enjoy being back in League?
He was there last week.
Audio podcast.
Oh, no, he wasn't. He was 2 weeks ago.
I did terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
I beat you, but I did not beat you.
Yeah, we didn't play.
You didn't beat any of us.
In the past, I have beaten you.
Sure. So you didn't do great. So
You
I
didn't do
think.
great.
So can you admit that maybe the Mufasa deck needs to die for you?
Yes, goodbye, Mufasa.
Okay, good. Because we've been trying to convince you that for weeks.
Because even like the main guy, the guy that essentially invented the Mufasa deck as it currently runs,
Agrees that it should die. Yeah.
was like, I didn't get anything. Like the only thing he's like that I can put in there is like the 1-drop card soldiers.
Yeah.
And he's like, even that's not that good. So
So it's gonna die.
Mufasa is not long for this world. We'll have to look at some other stuff. There are lots of new deck archetypes I think that are out there that we'll be able to
Yeah,
play.
it's going to be fun. So how about
Malcolm.
you, Malcolm?
Oh,
How'd you play
I went
Sunday?
2-1.
Nice.
2-1, nice.
I think Jen, you did the
I
same.
also went 2-1. Yes,
Yeah.
I lost to Diggy Diggy.
I lost.
I went 2-1 as well. I also lost to Diggy Diggy.
And I lost to Blurple.
Yeah,
yeah.
control deck is gonna get
Yep.
ya.
Blurple don't like my deck.
No.
We run into the final league week. This week is on Sunday.
Yep.
I think they showed the points. Jen, I think you're like in 9th and I'm in 7th.
Oh, okay.
Very little chance of getting into the top 4. The top 4 at our store play for the box, but we should have enough points at least to get the pin that we need. We still need the ticker pin for the set. They did actually announce pins for the next set.
Archasia set?
For the Archazia set. I don't remember them and I didn't get pictures of them.
Cool. So we will talk about those next week.
But the character pins are dual link pins.
Oh, nice.
So it's dual link pins for both character ones.
Is it Bolt?
I think one's Bolt. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure one's Bolt.
I can look it up real quick.
And then the banner pin is gone. And instead it's like the ink color symbol. So this one will be amber. So it's like the symbol,
Oh, okay, that's
That's
cool.
cool.
the amber symbol that's on our little display
All right, I
thing
kind
over
of
there.
might need an amber steel pin then when they come out, like an extra one for me.
Sure.
Like to put, I might need that.
Yeah.
To put on my purse.
So that's what will be the pins. They'll still have the 4 cards. They're changing kind
Stop, you
of the
guys.
rules for the leagues. Like neither of the places that we go to like follow what the leagues are, what the leagues for the rules are, or rules for the league.
Oh, it's Mad Hatter.
Oh, Mad Hatter. Okay.
I need that Mad Hatter for my backpack.
Yeah.
They're changing the rules a little bit. It's going to be up to the stores what they're going to follow. We haven't talked about what we're going to do. Yeah, the lore counter is the
bell.
inventor bell.
Which is very cool.
So we'll need to get one of each of those because we've gotten one of everything else. And one of the things, like instead of getting a card for just signing up for League, instead that card you get instead if you buy a box. So like one of the promos is just you buy a box, you get that promo card.
Nice.
Kind of like what they did with Bucky last set. And then they also announced that for set 8, starting with set 8, there'll be something called a pre-release pack. Like, so there'll actually be events that's like designed by Ravensburger, I guess, where you get like a specific, it's almost like, sounds like a starter deck tournament, but it like more pack based. I guess it's what they do for Pokemon for pre-release.
Okay.
They're going to be doing for Lorcana as well. So that'll change set 8. Once we get some news about that, we'll talk
Yeah.
about it. But let's dive into the news from this week. We do have Archazia Island coming out next week. We're going to talk about sealed stuff. But first, who cares about Archazia's Island? Because the reign of Jafar is
The
upon us.
reign of Jafar!
So
Comes
Archazia got
out.
no song, and now all of a sudden, so we just skipped the song with Archazia.
Okay, so I couldn't think of a good one for Archazia's.
Okay.
But
To be fair, Archazia, that's like a hard melody type.
Archazia.
See, it's Archazia, not Archazia.
Oh.
So, like, you
Wait.
add that little flourish to it.
the
Sure, sounds
reign
great.
of Jafar
He is so loud.
comes
know
out
he is.
in June.
May, actually. May.
Comes out in May.
Fair enough. So, Reign of Jafar, what we did get is a look at all the products that you're going to be able to get, right? So, booster boxes, treasure troves, all that kind of
I
fun
know
stuff.
that.
So, first, the booster box.
Oh, I love that mini.
So, yep, you've got Minnie Mouse holding like a shield. You got Rapunzel swinging in on a rope.
Yeah.
They're all dressed up.
That's her
you got
hair.
Tiana and Bruno there.
Yep.
That Pluto looks like like if he
It looks
was
like a dream born, like he dreamed that he had stayed with his family.
Well, they all have more kind of Arabian-inspired
Yeah.
outfits. So, like,
Yes.
so they enchanted Jafar from this set, this current set,
Mm-hmm.
Archazia, not Reign of Jafar, the boring old Archazia stuff. The like enchanted card, he's like shifting Archazia's island into his version of it. And it's interesting that apparently he shifts everyone's clothes
Yeah.
as well. So Jafar, fashion wizard, is here
Love
looking for that
it.
card. But here's a look at the box. Here's your 3 packs. You're going to have Minnie Mouse, Rapunzel, and Jafar on the packs. Here are those packs a little bit closer. Minnie
look at the
there
rabbits.
has a shield and a flashlight. Possibly a lightsaber, but looks more like a flashlight. So she's looking to take on Jafar. Jafar's sitting pretty.
Rapunzel looks pretty sassy.
She's just swinging on her hair because that's what Rapunzel does.
Yes.
When she doesn't know what to do, she swings on her hair.
But she's got the determined look in her eye.
Yes.
Like,
But she's not looking where she's going, so I'm afraid she's going to run into a tree like George was
never
doing.
looks where
She's
she's
gonna
going.
run into Jafar.
That
She's
is
gonna,
on
like,
brand.
She's gonna like do something. So she's gonna like ride on her hair, and then she's gonna like fling into Jafar's castle, and that's how they're gonna
Yeah.
And then
get
she's just going to slowly slide down it.
it.
Bonk.
Yeah.
No, she's gonna like break the bricks and like get in.
Oh, break
and that's
the bricks
how they're
and get
gonna
in.
break
Okay,
in.
yeah.
the
I wonder
Jafar's
what
castle.
color she's going to be, because it seems kind of clear that Minnie's going to be a amber card. I
Yeah,
guess
the
it-
mini definitely looks amberish, maybe even amber steel.
Yeah.
People said amber ruby. Like, well, I don't think you can call amber ruby with Minnie because she wears red all the time.
Exactly.
Right,
So
so
it's
that's-
hard to tell.
I mean, Rapunzel could be. I mean, since all the outfits are clearly
Red.
like Aladdinified.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to just guess based on just their
Sure.
outfits. You need to see the rest of the card.
Yeah,
So
I
we'll,
think
we'll
it's
eventually
emerald.
find out.
I'm calling it. It's emerald. Me too.
That would be the one color I would not pick.
Nope.
Out of all of them. There aren't very many Emerald Rapunzel cards. She's
No.
in Sapphire, she's in Amber,
Yeah.
she's in Ruby, not Emerald.
Well,
So let's look.
you all are gonna be so mad when it's right.
Sure.
We've got the starter decks. So we've got a red steel starter deck and an amber amethyst starter deck. So red steel, you got Mulan
What's
sporting her
with
little
this?
cannon. Stitch, it's the alien Stitch, kind of looking from set 1, but he's double firing blasters or
Love
triple.
it.
He's got
No,
3.
Yeah.
He's got 3 blasters firing away.
Looks like a singing Tiana.
Yeah, singing Tiana.
I
from
wonder if
Amber.
it's a Tiana
Could be.
singer.
Yep.
That Stitch just looks like the Stitch for the live action Lilo Stitch. So.
He looks kind of like crazy, like rah.
Yeah, and then you got Bruno, just
Yes.
welcoming,
him.
looking to give a hug.
Yeah.
Me and
I
Bruno.
guess so.
He looks like if he was the one who had to hug Umbrella, whatever his name, Isabella.
Isabella, yeah.
Sure. And then we've got the Trove, featuring those characters on the front, so that's still making a comeback.
Yep.
And then you've got the Illuminator's Quest,
Few of the
Palace
Slytherins.
Heist.
Palace Heist.
So this will be the thing that will replace essentially the Ursula.
So they have to break into his castle using Rapunzel.
Right, yes. So there you go. You're right. That's how they break in, is they
Yep.
have Rapunzel make a Rapunzel-sized hole. They send this 90-pound little wafer of a woman swinging on her own hair to make a hole in the castle, not using anyone like Wreck-It Ralph
Or
to make a hole.
Maui.
Or Maui or any of the other big heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Instead, it's the 90-pound girl. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Pete's Dragon.
What is noteworthy about this, though, is there is a decent chance this is the set champ card and mat.
Ooh.
Right? Because Ursula's Return, the cover of the
Was,
Illuminator's
yeah.
Quest, that was the set champ card and that was the set champ mat. So this could be it.
This looks really cool.
Which would
Yeah.
look really cool. So it'd be
Yeah.
a gauntlet to get that thing.
And this is
Sure.
probably, and this is probably also going to be puzzle piece.
Probably.
Yep, good chance of that as well.
Yeah, because I mean, Scar was just so popular because almost every millennial's favorite movie was either Lion King. If they're a guy, either Lion King or Aladdin.
Yep.
So, like, this is going to be.
Yeah, this
very
is for me. This is
revering.
one where I'll be grinding more than I
Yes.
did. Like this past one, I was like, okay, I got the card, I'm happy.
Yes.
Next one might be, oh, I got the card, I'm happy. But this one is like, oh, I want a mat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Aladdin's always been your favorite.
Yep. Okay. Then we also got a look at the mats and sleeves and deck boxes coming with next set.
That's not a character card.
So Big Tink is back in the sleeves and deck
Yeah,
box.
but like, why is it that Big Tink? Everyone likes the other one better.
What other Big Tink?
That's the enchanted Big Tink.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah.
likes the artwork from the regular Big Tink better.
Oh, sure.
So that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. You've got the Sorcerer Mickey with the deck box and sleeves. Rescue Rangers Away makes a mat. And the Hades card, while this card is internally bad, it does make a really cool mat.
Really
That's a
cool.
cool mat.
And I like them both. I
Yeah.
think they're really cool, Matt. Like,
These
as somebody
are-
who loved Rescue Rangers, as a kid, like, that is a really cool mat.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all cool stuff, all coming when the Reign of Jafar happens in May, right at the end of May. So this is a shorter set for Archazia until we get to Reign of Jafar. It's also an interesting set because we don't have anything, there's no big events planned for the set, right? There are no DLCs. We don't know if Worlds is going to happen. So it's going to be an interesting set for players and for hobby shops because, what are people practicing for?
Yeah.
Right? Do we know if this set is going to be used in anything big? It's up to local stores to kind of hold bigger tournaments, to kind of hold us over. So hopefully stores around you will be holding bigger tournaments.
Nobody around here seems to.
And there's like a 1K happening, and then another store announced they're going to have a 1K pretty soon.
Does anyone know if World is actually ever going to happen? Just
I'm pretty sure
in general?
they announced that here are the people invited to Worlds. Just they haven't announced dates. They've got a lot to do, and I think they're going to have to make an announcement pretty soon. Otherwise, this set, no one's going to buy the set. I mean, people will buy the set. Like, we'll buy the set because we want all the cards. Other people buy the set because they want to buy all the cards. But, like, a lot of the competitors, and maybe that's 10% of the market, might not buy anything because, like, well, I don't know what I'm going to need because I might need to wait till the next set before I play in any big stuff. So they've got to make they've got to make some of those announcements and show us, hey, what are we playing for people that are serious competitors, not just people that like to play like us.
And again, if they wait too long for Worlds, are they going to be able to have any DLCs this year?
Yeah, it's a lot of questions, and hopefully we get some answers too. We also saw that with the packs from Archazia's Island, there are 2 puzzles
All right.
and lore on the back of all those cards. So that's what we'll get that. Once we kind of get the cards in hand, we'll be able to read that lore and see what's going on there. The pins are out. All that stuff is going on. But what we're going to be going into this week, our main topic for the week, is talking about limited, right? Whenever a set releases, you're going to have special limited events. You're going to have one of 3 different types of events. Emmett, can you tell me about one of those types of events?
So a draft is...
So it's a draft. So what is a draft?
So a draft is... Here, let me take an example.
No, just explain it.
Just explain it,
So,
buddy.
so I'm on this table with a bunch of...
Okay, so explain it easily so that somebody who's never listened to the
How about
podcast
this?
can
Explain
explain.
sealed.
No, explain the draft. That's fine.
So what a draft is, basically, you get put at a table,
Yes.
and then everyone at the table is given 4 packs. You open 1 pack at a time, and you pass it around.
Well, but what do you do first before you pass it?
You choose a card. One card.
Okay, that's enough. So you choose 1 card, and then it could be any card from the deck, and then what do you do with it?
You put it to the side and pass it down to either your left or right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it usually alternates between each pack that you open. So you take 1 card from that pack, you put it down into your pile, you pass the rest of the cards over to your left or your
And
right.
then you pick up the pack from the person on your other side, pick 1 card from that, put it in your pile, and then keep doing that until pack 1 is done. And then you open up pack 2, and then you'll usually go the opposite way.
And here's a tip. Always take a legendary or enchanted first. In fact, Mom was actually a little greedy once.
I was greedy.
Yeah, remember that one time when the person next to you got an enchanted and but he's new here and you're just like, should I tell him that it's good?
Oh, because it was a brand new player.
Yeah.
And he pulled an enchanted.
Yeah, brand new
Right.
player. But anyway.
We
So
didn't
that's
steal his enchanted, don't worry.
so after your draft, right? Since you opened 4 packs and you chose 12 different cards from all those packs that were at the table. It's usually a table of 8. You're going to end up with 48 cards. From those 48 cards, you have to make a deck of at least 40. And then you play in a small tournament with those 40 cards. The other popular type of limited event is a Malcolm. No,
What's it
Malcolm
called?
is not
Sealed.
the name of the event.
Sealed.
It's a sealed event. And what's a sealed event, Malcolm?
You get 6 packs, open packs, make deck of 40 cards from the pack.
So you don't pass them around, you don't have to make any decisions, you just get the 6 packs, you choose 40 cards from there, and you play with that deck.
Now, in both of these formats, notice we didn't say anything about color. Because normally when you play Lorcana, you have to choose 2 colors to play with. In limited events, you can play all 6 colors if you choose to.
Yep. Same rules apply for the rest of it. You don't have to follow the ink restrictions. You still have to just follow the inking rules. You have to only draw 7 cards. You only draw 1 card per turn. Only ink once per turn. All those normal rules apply.
Yep.
But it's a fun way to experiment with some of the cards. You may open up, see that you have it, put it in your collection, then never look at it again.
Yeah.
So it's a fun way to try out those new cards. It's a fun way to open some packs. It's a fun way to have a good time with some of the people that like to play Lorcana like you do.
And it's also a good way to see how cards work, because sometimes there may be cards, especially commons and uncommons, that maybe people don't think are going to work well, and then you realize, oh, they actually do work kind of well. And then maybe they will start becoming, a little bit more part of the meta.
Yep. There is a third type of limited event that you may run into. It's a starter deck tournament where basically you just get the starter deck and you get the pack that comes with it. You can insert some of the cards that you got in the pack into your starter deck if it makes any sense. And then you just play against each other. There's 2 starter decks this time around. It's a blue-red deck and a purple-steel deck. I've looked at both of them. It's kind of... the red-blue deck is definitely more combo heavy, so if you are newer to Lorcana, definitely pick the purple-steel one. Purple-steel is probably going to win more games because it's easier to pilot, it's more consistent, I think, between the 2 of them. But if you're a really, really good player, you really study the deck, and I mean this, you have to study the deck beforehand, you might be able to do pretty well with red-blue if you can pull off some of those combos, but you really it's really dependent on those combos, so.
We're talking about a starter deck. Those combos?
Yeah, because it's all reliant on items and banishing the items to do something else.
So you probably have to be a confident blue player already to play that deck.
Not even confident blue player because it doesn't have ramp. It's more of an item heavy deck. So it's like blowing up items to play the bells, and then you play that bigger bell on top of it so that you can banish items to your deck to gain a bunch of lore, that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of shifting. It's a lot of making sure you're using your items appropriately. And it's not like you're going to get the good items. You're going to get the items nobody plays with, like gold coin.
Let's go.
Probably one of the worst cards in this set, Maurice's Workshop. An item that you have to pay 3. It's uninkable. It does literally nothing when you play it until you banish it. And then you can deal damage to something. It's like really bad.
That's crazy.
And like you can't banish it yourself. Something else has to banish it. So you don't choose to banish it. Like you have to use a Hiram, or there's a Maurice that banishes items. And
So he can banish his own workshop.
So he can banish it. And then that's not his workshop. It's his invention. I'm sorry. It's his invention. It was like when I saw this, I'm like, Maurice spent years of his life making this invention, and you made it that bad. It is like really high bad card. I'm not, obviously I didn't pick it. It's not on part of this show. We're not going to go over it on the show because it's that bad. It got revealed by like this podcast I listened to called Lorcana, which is a really high level, this is super competitive people talking about it. They got that as their reveal, and they were just like, this is like one of the worst cards I've ever seen. You're like, I'm sorry, we appreciate you guys giving us the reveal. This card's garbage. I don't even remember because I looked at it, saw that it literally doesn't, you pay 3 ink, and then it just sits there and does nothing until you have another card do something to it. That's so expensive. Yeah. And the card you want to do something with it, Maurice, is like 4 cost. So you're spending 7 ink. I think it banishes something with like cost 2 or less. And you're paying 7 ink to do that.
But the Maurice's invention is 3 cost.
Yeah,
But then you have to pay like 4 to banish
to play the Maurice to banish it. So you paid 3 already for the item, then another 4 for Maurice. You paid 7 ink total to banish some kind of weenie thing.
What is the item we would do when it's banished?
Where little Sisu could
I'd have to look at it, but I don't remember.
Like so much more.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is I've gone through and I've looked at, and this is my opinion. I did look around at some others. There's a guy on the internet called Dive that is heavy into data, heavy into drafting. You can go and look him up. The 40 Born server on Discord, look up there. They have a ton of info on draft. Katie from the Lore Keepers Inn, she's doing a draft review of all of them. We don't have that kind of time or patience, and that's not our podcast. We aren't going to dive deep. But here, we do like to talk limited. And what I've done is kind of gone through the set. I picked out only commons and uncommons that you would want to grab from a draft or in sealed. And you want to make sure that are in your deck. This is my opinion based on my experience and kind of looking at everyone else's stuff. So we're only looking at commons and uncommons. Why? Because you're going to see 9 of those in every pack at least.
Yep. So there's a good chance you're going to see a good many of these.
Yes. Obviously, you're going to see the rares. You're going to see some legendaries. You're going to see some super rares.
But we don't know which ones.
But you can't guarantee you're going to see that. These cards, odds are you open up 6 packs or even 4 packs and they're passed around, you're probably going to see a few of these a couple of times even. So these are ones that once you've gotten your legendary, you've picked your super rare, you picked your rare, or the rares and super rares that were there in the pack are just garbage. These are the other ones that you can look through. These are the ones where you have choice, where you have decisions to make. So let's take a look at what we got here. So let's start with Snow White, probably the biggest star.
Yep.
Snow White, fairest in the land. She's a 4-cost inkable, a 2 strength, 2 willpower, quest for 2, most important, hidden away. This character can't be challenged.
And there's so little removal.
There's barely any.
Yeah.
There's barely any removal in this set. While we were going through the cards and while they were being revealed, I was like, oh, this seems really like a really cool set for limited. But then I looked at all the synergies that have cards that do combos and stuff. The things that feed off each other aren't in this set.
Yeah.
They're in other sets.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of challenging that you're going to do. So if you're telling me on turn 4, I throw this down, it quests for 2, and you can't get rid of her.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it.
There's very little you're going to be able to do to get rid of her, unless you have a couple of very, very specific cards that you may
You could have Maurice's invention. That?
Never mind! I changed my mind! Maurice's invention, best card in the set, let's go! Anyways, grab as many of these as possible.
Yeah.
You see this, you grab it. Simple as that. That's 2 lore that you're going to get every turn. They might have something that can deal with it, but
chances are they won't.
Yeah, unless they were saving up for it. It's going to be like person that gets this wins.
Yep.
Up next, King Stefan. He's a 5-cost inkable, 4 strength, 7 willpower, quest for 1. Big old butt.
Yep.
Sometimes you just need a king with a big
Baby.
butt to sit on his throne and
hold the
just
baby.
stay there while he's holding his baby, questing away, or taking out some of your little guys and living to tell the tale.
Yeah.
There aren't a whole lot of strong characters in this set that are in the common and uncommon slots. There are some in the rare and super rares.
Sure.
So you see him, he's probably worth a grab. Maybe not your first pick, but once you're in the dregs, decent one to grab up.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt, the Wonder Dog. He is a 5-cost inkable bodyguard. He has the puppy shift. There aren't a ton of puppies in this set.
No, but a few.
But there are a few, so maybe you could use that. Shifting, sometimes it's iffy, but even at 5 cost, questing for 2, if you played in a couple of sets ago where you had the Chin-Po bodyguard, right? He was a 4/7 that quested for 1, that cost 5. This guy...
Well, just the last card cost 5.
Yeah.
It was a 4/7.
Yeah, and so this guy costs 3/7. He's a bodyguard. He's questing for 2. That's pretty good. He's going to take out most things that challenge into him. You're going to probably have to have at least 2 things challenge into him to get rid of him.
At least.
So it's a pretty good one to pick up. And if you do have a puppy, hey, that's something you can synergize with,
Yeah.
right? Unfortunately, Bolt, not a puppy. Card, looks like a puppy, but not one.
No.
So like knights?
Yeah, like knights.
Like knights. Okay, up next. Bucky!
No!
Wait, that means he's a good card.
He's a 3-cost Inkables, 3 strength, 2 willpower, quest for 1. Ability is Pop. When this character is banished in a challenge, you may draw a card. He's
Card
hitting
draws.
for 3/2. He draws a card when he's banished. In a challenge, again, we've talked about there's not a lot of pinging removal in this, so odds are it's going to be a challenge that banishes him, and he's probably going to take out something with him at that 3 strength level.
Exactly.
So
That's good.
A decent.
And notice all of these are inkable.
Yeah.
And that is always something you have to be careful about putting a ton of uninkables in your hand when you're doing limited.
Yeah, you probably only want about 8 because remember you got a 40-card deck, so probably 8 is probably your limit.
What's this ability it says? Whenever you play a Floodborn, the opposing player discards a card.
Don't give us PTSD.
No.
Anyways.
He is just. I think it is funny that Bucky draws a card now.
Yeah.
It's like he's on his redemption arc. So.
Sure.
Let's see what's up next. It's Raja, Ghostly Tiger. He's a 2-cost inkable 3/3. He quests for 1.
He is an illusion.
And he is an illusion. So he does. Sorry, Malcolm's still getting over a cold. He does have the vanish keyword on him, so if he's targeted with something, he gets removed. But at 2 cost, a 3/3 on board at 2, pretty good. Normally you have to do something special like Snake or Smee are 2 costs, but they have a downside. This one has the downside of the vanish part. But like we said, a lot of the actions in this, you're not going to get much dealing with it. And this will take out any 1-drops and probably any 2-drops that your opponent's playing.
Did Raja die? Is that what it
It's an illusion.
It's an illusion.
It's not a ghost. It's an
But
illusion.
it says it's a ghost tiger.
A ghostly tiger.
Ghostly, that they're describing it, not saying he's a ghost. He's ghostly.
Because he's an illusion because of magic.
Yeah, Jafar decided to make 3 illusions: a giant snake, a tiger, and his big old bird. Up next, Sven, Keen-Eyed Reindeer, Amethyst, Sapphire, 5-cost inkable, 2 strength, 6 willpower. He's got rush. And when you play the character, chosen character gets -3 strength this turn. So you can throw him out, reduce someone's strength, have one of your other characters challenge something because he's not hitting for too hard. But removing strength and having one of your kind of smaller characters make a trade without having to be banished themselves can be worth something. And rush is always a good card to have.
Yeah, and he's got a big butt.
Yeah,
At
he
6.
does have a good gut at 6. So a decent card for limited. Up next, Baymax.
He's
Low
deflated.
battery. Yeah.
Aw.
He's a 2-cost inkable, 3 strength, 2 willpower, quests for 2. Enters play exerted. So he's questing for 2, which is a lot for a 2-drop, right? He enters play exerted, which means they have to kind of either they can run into him before you get any questing off. But if they do run into him, they're probably dying.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably your 2-drop is most likely dying. You know, your opponents if you're on the draw. So he's taking out someone, and if they don't take him out, you're questing for 2. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I feel like, while there are a lot of 1-drops that do have 2 strength, not all of them do. A lot of them have one strength. So
Most of them do, yeah.
if you're on the play, this is a great 2-drop card. I'm not, On the draw, it might be getting taken out by another 2-drop, but
Well, even on the draw, if you're taking out their 2-drop with your 2-drop instead of letting them quest,
sure.
it's not bad.
That's not bad.
Okay. And then let's move on to Gizmo Duck. Suited Up. He's a 4-strength inkable emerald steel card, 4 strength, 3 willpower, has resist 1, quest for 1, and this character can challenge ready damaged characters.
Ooh.
So if they try to save some of their people, Gizmo Duck can still run in and hit them. He's got that resist on him.
Yeah.
Prevents some of the damage. He's going to take out most things. And he probably won't get taken out without a couple of hits. So.
You need 4 hits to 1 hit.
We got Fidget, a sneaky bat. He's emerald ruby, 2 strength, 3 willpower, cost 4. He's inkable. He's evasive. He's questing for 2. And then I took care of everything as his ability. Whenever this character quests, another chosen character of yours gains evasive until the start of your next
So it's
turn.
basically Tinkerbell, but better.
Tinkerbell, I think it was on play. You made someone evasive.
Yeah.
That one that you're
And
talking
this is
about.
the whenever he quests.
He's questing for 2, and it's whenever you quest. So you can put him out there, and then you're questing, you're making someone else evasive that can take care of one of their evasives,
Yeah.
or just protect him for a turn as well. So,
Yeah.
and questing for 2 is quite a bit on the 4 cost. So.
Yeah, especially with it being evasive.
Yeah.
That's great.
You always want to make sure you grab some evasives. This is probably the best one.
No
that you could grab.
touchy.
No touchy, that's right.
Don't know who's grabbing his leg, but he's flying them out of there.
It's
Ooh, big
Then you got
hits.
Baymax, giant robot. So this is one of the few uninkable. So this is 6 cost uninkable. He's a 5/5. He's a universal shift, so you can shift him on top of anybody, and he
Yeah.
quests for 2. And then his ability is functionality improved when you play this character. If you use shift to play him, and there's no reason to use anything but shift unless you're like top decking and you're just praying.
Yes.
You remove all damage from him. So the key probably here would be to run into something, shift, maybe even shift the next turn or whenever you can. Shift, remove all that damage, and then you've got a fully healed 5/5 out on turn 4.
Yep.
Right, that's questing for 2. Or he's a 5/5 at least that has rush that you brought on
Yep.
turn 4. So it's not bad. You want to be really particular when you play this. Make really sure you've got a game plan when you're playing him out there. Think through your whole move before playing him. It's a more high skill ceiling card, but I think he would be good. And since he's an uncommon, there's a good chance you're going to see him.
Yep.
Anastasia, bossy stepsister. She's a 3 cost inkable, 3 strength, 1 willpower. And then whenever this character is challenged, the challenging player chooses and discards a card. She quests for 2.
So she's easy to kill, but they have to discard a
She's
card.
easy to kill, but she's most likely taking a lot of things out
Yes.
with her because of
Yes.
the 3 strength. She's questing for 2, so you're going to get further ahead on the board. And then making someone discard a card kind of around turn 3 is a big deal because they're
Yeah.
going to not have a whole lot left around starting after this turn. So
Yeah.
making them discard is a pretty good thing.
Yep.
Wake up, Alice!
I love this scene.
So this is an action. It's a 1 cost inkable. You return chosen damaged character to their player's
Yes.
hand. So this can work on your opponent's cards to stop their tempo.
Or to get rid of an illusion.
Yep. Or you could bring back, well, the illusion has to be damaged already, right?
But like
'Cause
the
to
No,
more of a
because
target.
I know any action. Oh, to be a target. Right.
The illusion
Okay.
has to be a target, so the illusion already has to have damage on it.
Sure.
For like the 50th time, it's not called Alice's sister. Her name's Matilda.
No, sure.
Not the 50th.
Okay, that was weird. He's talking about the flavor text on the bottom where it's from Alice's sister, and he's saying Alice's sister's name is Matilda.
I was in an Alice in Wonderland play.
Yeah, they all know.
Okay. Now you can turn your opponent's character to their hands, or you could send a character back to your hand and then play him again if you got like a rush character. So you could send him out there, play this, bring him back to your hand, send
Why
him
do
again.
they always have like damage things with damage stuff in this in Emerald?
That's just Emerald's
Yeah, that's kind of
specialty.
its thing.
Yep, that's what it does.
So that's good, and it's a 1 cost inkable. So
Yep. Then you got Denhai, Impatient Hunter. He's a 3 cost inkable, 3 strength, 2 willpower. He's not questing. He's got reckless, so he's got a challenge, but he's got resist 2.
ooh.
So it's going to take a bit to get rid of him. He's going to be able to take a couple things out on his way there. So he's
especially on turn 3.
Yeah, he's a
Like,
strong little boy. So definitely worth a shot in your deck. You got the Beagle Boys.
Beagle Boys.
Small Time Crooks. It's a Ruby Sapphire card, 3 strength, 3 willpower, 4 cost inkable, quest for 2. Whenever this character quests, chosen character of yours gains rush and resist +1 this turn. So make sure that you're sequencing your cards right.
Yes, make sure you
play
quest this
something,
first. Or
quest.
play it and then quest, and then that can get rushed.
Yeah. So a decent ability that can be given to any card in your deck to kind of turn the tides in your favor. And when you're questing for 2. That's pretty good.
Like, imagine if you got that Denahi card out.
That's what I was about to
give him
say.
another
Did this, like, that would have been, that's a crazy
3 resist
combination.
on him. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Woo!
Again, only something you can do in limited because he's Ruby Steel and this is Ruby Sapphire.
Yeah.
Up next,
Oh,
Moana.
I love that card. That art is so cute. Look at Pua.
It's Moana, Island Explorer. She's a 4 cost inkable, 4 strength, 3 willpower. She's evasive. And whenever this character challenges another character, another chosen character of yours get +3 strength this turn. So she can kind of act as a little bit of a crab. She's a 4/3, so she's not dying
And she's evasive.
to most evasive characters. So she
Imagine-
can take out that fidget and then buff up someone else you got to take out something else.
Imagine if you combined the last 3 cards that we're looking at.
I know, it's crazy.
Like Moana, the Buggle Boys, whatever his
Bugle
name.
Boys.
Beagle Boys.
Beagle Boys.
Beagle Boys, whatever
And then
that.
Dahahi.
That means he has 3 resist, reckless, and a 6 strength.
That
Yeah,
would be crazy.
that's a pretty crazy guy right there. Let's see what's next. Edgar Balthazar.
Where's he from?
I believe he is from, I forget. Is it,
My
remember, ambitious.
Aristocats.
Yeah,
Aristocats.
Aristocats. Yes, you're right. That's it. 5 cost inkable, 6 strength, 5 willpower, quest for 1. Just a big old attacking guy. He's going to take out most anything else the other side plays. So he's a big old guy that just kind of attack things. Robin Hood. I for detail. 3 strength, 3 cost inkable, 3 strength, 3 willpower, quest for 1, has support. A kind of generic character, but a support at 3
is big.
Is pretty big.
That's, yeah.
So that can let your 1 cost character, if he's still alive, take out
I am
almost anything that they play.
I am so excited for some strong Sapphire cards.
So this is a decent one to kind of add to your deck for limited. Probably won't see much other play, but it is a decent kind of support thing to add onto your smaller strength characters at the right at the right cost. He's at the right time.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it works. Lady Cluck, we've talked about this one before. She's a blue steel, 2 strength, 7 willpower. She's got ward that doesn't really matter in this limited
But it's
set.
that big
But it's
butt.
the bodyguard, 2/7. She's going to protect probably from at least 2 attackers. Going into her 5 strength, 5 cost, inkable, definitely a lot of upsides.
And again, if we're talking about any of those other cards, if you can beef that up that 2, they're gonna people aren't going to want to, run into her.
Yep. So definitely a decent card to check out. Double Trouble. So this is a 2 cost inkable action. This is like your only kind of pinging damage that's in a common or uncommon card. It's deal 1 damage each up to 2 chosen characters.
So kind of like Double Fire.
Kind of like Twin Fire, but less damage, right? And don't have to discard a card.
Make it lead. Make it blue. Make it steel.
It's pink and blue.
Make
But
it
anyway.
pink. Make it blue. Make it steel.
And again, this can now get rid of 2 illusions at the same time.
Yes, this could get rid of double illusion. So if you run into someone that's playing an illusion deck, this is their worst nightmare.
Yep.
Right? So there isn't a whole lot of removal. This is something that you can use.
I thought there were. Oh, wait.
Then we got Jafar, Aspiring Ruler. He's a 3 cost inkable, 3 strength, 2 willpower, quest for 2. And when you play this character, chosen character gains challenger +2 this turn. So you can play him on 3, give your 2 dot +3, take out whoever they've got exerted. You play it at the right time. You can surprise buff up one of your characters to take out one of their characters.
Sure.
So, a decent thing to kind of throw there.
Yeah, anything that quests for 2 this cheap, you want to play it.
Yep. Definitely a way to get some lore pretty quickly. So that was the last card I kind of had from there. There are obviously other ones. There's like the bell that you pop an item and you play her.
Sure.
Is a common, right? Sapphire Coil is an uncommon.
If I get the 3 combinations of the Moana, the whatever his name is, and the Beagle Boys, I think I might get first place in that draft.
We'll see.
Anyways, as I was saying, those seem like the ones you want to grab because people are talking about those cards. However, if you grab the bell, that means you are also grabbing an item. And most of the items suck.
Yep.
You're saying, but Matt, you also just sniggled.
Why?
Why are you offended?
Are you an item?
Item City.
Sucked.
It was terrible. You lost that tournament.
It was the best idea I ever had.
I mean, that might be true, but you just don't have good ideas then.
I have great ideas.
Do you though?
Yes.
Because can I tell you what's not a great idea?
You think it's a good idea?
Random British accent.
What do you mean? I have to practice my British accent.
So maybe you should practice a British accent.
Can I get a bottle of water?
Oh my God. Can we stop?
So the next thing you might say, but Matt, you also said Sapphire Coil is really popular. Sure. But in order to activate Sapphire Coil, you have to ink stuff. You're going to eventually stop inking stuff. And do you want to basically use your second turn of the game to throw down an item that
is only going to be useful for a couple more turns.
a few more turns? Yeah, fine. You're going to lower the strength of one of my characters because you're never going to be double inking. Sure, you've got that where you'll be lowering the strength of one of my characters from then on out, but I'm just going to keep questing. And I'm going to make you challenge into me while I sit here and quest away until I get to 20.
Yep.
So I wouldn't try for those lines just because they're the best cards in the game doesn't mean that you should be grabbing them. All right, same with, let's say you get lucky and you get the legendary Tamatoa or the legendary Scrooge, like 2 of the better legendaries in the game that are going to be really sought after when it comes to opening packs and wanting to buy those singles. In Limited, those cards are garbage, right? Because you have to play then the items that are in this set.
Yep.
And most of the items in this set are
garbage.
garbage.
So, that's French.
Garbage.
I wouldn't recommend.
I'm British, not
Oh my God,
French.
that's not British.
What do you mean? What?
Is what all you know how to say in a British accent?
No, I know how to say on. Or never again. Well, I doubt it when my mom says I'm a Liverpool.
Wait, so what were you saying? Were you saying odd?
Odd.
What say it without an accent. What that word mean?
And
That was like nowhere on my guests.
Or never again. I doubt it when my mom says I'm a Liverpool.
Stop. All right, we're
Copyright.
done.
Anyways.
I can't.
So those are some of the commons and uncommons that I would suggest grabbing in your packs. Maybe they're not your first pick because those legendaries are going to be there. Those super rares, those rares. We're not going over those because that's not what you're going to see the most of.
Nope.
So that's our kind of sealed talk for this set. I know
Sealed and draft.
Sealed and draft, yes. Our limited set, our limited talk for this set. I know I'm doing a starter deck tournament. There's a draft the next night. Then we're all doing the sealed. You can come with me.
Yay!
And then there's but you gotta stay up late.
Yeah. I know, it's fine, whatever.
And then there's a sealed on Sunday at our local store that we plan on doing. So lots of fun to come. We will talk about our success for those after that weekend. Next weekend is the release for Archazia's Island, not
Archazia's Island.
Archazia, not Archazia.
I will just cover up his mic.
Archazia's
And I will just steal his mic.
There we go. This was the benefit of having the separate system. I could just mute him.
Okay.
So next week, we're going to talk about some of the decks that have been tested that you're probably going to see that opening weekend if your store likes proxies, or from them lucky sons of guns that pulled 4 Tamatoas out of their boxes. I'm hoping we get those. I'm anticipating I get whatever the most garbage one is. Probably the Hades. If there's a Hades Legendary, it's garbage. That's just the rules. I think if it's Hercules related, it's usually been garbage. Though the whatever it is, Phil wasn't a legendary.
Oh, I guess.
The Return from the Dead or whatever it is. The
And then that
Hercules
baby
was
Hercules too.
Oh,
Yeah.
what about Hiram?
Hiram was a super rare.
No,
And
not that one.
Hiram's not
No, not
from...
Hyla. What's it called? The guy with all the heads that I have in my deck.
Oh, Hydra.
Hydra.
Sure.
That's from
He's good.
mythology.
And it's from Hercules. But it's a Hades card. If it wasn't from set 1, it's probably bad. So that's been the general rule. It's like we're going to give them a couple good ones and then just bad from here on out. So there's been a lot of fun decks. Blue-red seems to be a menace. There's some fun seeming blue-green decks. There's that's a lot. Blue-steel seems to be back. I've been playing a fun pirate deck.
Blue. Period.
Yes, blue got a lot of stuff. So, but we'll take a look at those next week. But right now, it is time for trivia.
Oh, no.
And that's why the mic is way over here.
I think they can still hear me.
I know.
They probably
I
can.
thought I'd give it back. Will you stop yelling?
Maybe.
Then I'm going to put it halfway.
Okay, that's fine enough with me.
Okay.
All right.
How's this card, Dad?
Should be interesting. Okay. All right, let's go with In the Emperor's New Groove.
Oh,
Bucky.
wait, I got this. I love this movie.
He's seen it like twice.
Pasha saves Cuzco from a pack of what in the jungle?
Puppies.
No, Jaguars.
Jaguars are correct.
Wow, okay.
I watched that movie like a week ago.
When?
Bucky's.
When
Oh, when he's in the basement saying he's just chilling out.
no, when I'm up here and I'm watching TV.
Okay, sure.
All right, next, comedian Ali Wong voiced the character Felony for what animated movie?
No clue.
Felony?
Wait, yeah, Felony?
Who's naming the child Felony?
Was
it's
it-
a nickname because of the gang she's in? A gang of thieves in a more recent Disney animated movie because Ali Wong is still not old.
Is it
Bad.
Raya?
No.
Who's in a...
This is from Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Oh.
That movie came out like 24 years ago.
You are only 9 years old, and it's come out since you were born because we saw it in the movie theater.
Name one character portrayed by Carrie Elwes
Yes.
in A Christmas Carol, the 2009 version.
Oh, that's the bad version.
The 2009 version.
I didn't even know.
Isn't that the one with like really bad animation?
Yeah, I think
That
so.
used like the
Oh, yeah, they're right.
humanoid like animation that like Polo Express used.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
I will guess the Ghosts of Christmas Past.
Scrooge.
No.
Ghosts of Christmas Future.
No, no. It's Portly Gentleman,
Cool.
Dick Wilkins,
Cool.
and Mad Fiddler.
So none of the people that are actually in the book Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure
so,
there's a fat guy in Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah. So
Alright.
who's actually from that movie?
Yeah, so okay. I know who Carrie Ellis is, but how would I know that? Even if I watched the movie. I mean, I'm guessing they look like him, but
Sure. All right.
okay.
Finish the quote from Mulan.
Okay.
The flower that blooms in blank is the most rare and beautiful of all.
Pink.
The flower that blooms in pink.
Spring.
In summer? In winter?
Fall.
I'm gonna say winter.
It's not a season.
It's not a season.
November.
The 20th.
Is it a month?
No.
Is it a...
It is.
Flower that blooms in
I mean, it's
the rocks, in the dirt.
no.
The
It's not.
cherry blossoms.
Like you guys are trying to guess like things that they probably should have used, but
Sunlight.
it's just adversity. I mean, I know when I go to Home Depot, they have signs up like, do not plant in adversity flowers. So you don't want to get those.
Only strawberries.
Yeah. During the song, What's This? In The Nightmare Before Christmas,
What's this?
what holiday does Jack discover?
Thanksgiving. Easter.
What's this? What's this? It's Christmas, of course.
No, it's
It
Halloween.
was only in the title.
Yes.
So of the
Christmas.
movie.
Yes.
So okay. So there we go.
Wow.
We got two right. Malcolm Emmett knew Jaguars, and then we got Christmas. But
Yes.
we are no good on Portly Gentlemen trivia.
Malcolm, why didn't you know it was Jaguars? There's literally a card in Lorcana called the Jaguar Force, and the flavor text is Cusco starting by "You saved me" and whatever his name is. It's just like,
He's right. There is a card called Jaguar Force. To be honest, I always just associate with Jungle Book. But yeah, he's right. It's from.
You want to know what also there's a card of?
What?
Bucky.
Oh yeah. Why would you think?
There's only one Bucky, and he's a friend.
Says who?
He's a friend to Kronk.
He's not a friend to me.
He's not. He's not a friend to Cusco.
Hey, if you go back, Amethyst Amber, that new one might work.
In fact, Cusco is the one who gives him his name, Bucky. Hit the low, Bucky.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, so that brings us to an end for our episodes this week. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yay.
If you are listening on a podcast, if you would like to see what we look like in person and see the cards we're talking about, you can find a video version on YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you're like, oh my God, I can't look at these people anymore, find an audio version on all major podcast platforms. Please follow, rate, like, subscribe, smash things. Do whatever you feel like. Tell your mom about us. Maybe she'll like us. I feel like we'd be a mom-friendly podcast.
I'm a mom.
Do you like us?
I do like us.
See, mom approved.
Mom
Okay,
approved.
so awesome. We've got that going for us. You can contact us on all the social medias as QuestLore Pod, on Twitters and on the Instagram. Whenever we remember to put stuff up there, which is every once in a while.
Maybe.
I had like a crazy idea for a TikTok, and then I was like, that seems like way too much work.
Oh, tell me what, and I'll make it happen.
Like I have to write a script and everything.
That's all right.
Anyways,
Wait till like spring break, and I can do it.
like it'd be an ongoing thing. Like,
okay.
I don't think it would be in one thing. Like it would be an ongoing. We'll talk about
We'll
it.
talk about it. I want to do it. I want to do it.
Anyways.
I'm all in. I'm all in. And I have no idea what it is.
Okay, have you heard of this website called Only? Never mind.
That this is, I no longer approve this podcast. It's no longer mom approved.
I didn't say the whole thing. I didn't say the whole thing.
Wow, there are children present. That probably have no idea what you were alluding to because we are good parents.
Anyway.
But still, we have a 13-year-old now. Who knows what he learns about in school?
He tells us he learns nothing in school.
I know, right?
That's what happens.
Except for math, because they make him do homework.
Okay, so I'm going to pull this burning train wreck off to the side, end the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We will catch you next time on QuestLore.
Look what the ambassador jacket full